The following is an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.
Off to Alexis Hines. Hines moves to her right. Now here's Nikki Works. A long three is on the way.
Yes.
Cash money. Nikki Works, she has range. She knocks it in. That's 9 points for her, and a timeout's taken by head coach Dawn Gibson. That's going to take us to our media timeout. Young now drives right baseline, and she drops it off and taken away by Alexis Hines. Hines across the timeline now. Hines hits a cutting Rocky as Rocky ran the floor, and she goes down. She'll go to the line for one more. It's up the floor now. It's Alexis Hines up the floor across the timeline, goes to the left side to Conway. Hines, now here's Nikki Works, top of the perimeter. Left side it goes to Morgan Jones. Now here's Rocky inside, turns to her right hand, hook, it's up, falls. And the Lady Eagles are within 5.
Out of the ball game, you know, the Eagles cut it to within 5 because she's one of the better players. Get her out of the game, no matter what it takes.
Morgan Jones drops it off to Rocky, left side.
Yes!
For the perimeter, she moves it to the left side to Atkinson. Now here's Rachel Williams, now here's Jones for the lead. That's no good, rebounded by Works, and the Lady Eagles have an opportunity to reset. Rachel Williams now goes back to Jones, again for the lead, and this one falls. Connolly will hit a bounce pass to Morgan Jones, left corner. Outside it goes to Williams. Back to Jones for 3, left side.
Yes! Money!
Here with NCCU women's head basketball coach Vanessa Taylor. Coach, your third consecutive come-from-behind win. Talk about what goes on in the second half for you guys.
Well, we've been doing a better job of just making the adjustments. Tonight, I thought we did an awesome job in the second half of getting the shots and hitting shots in the second half. One, they shared the ball well. We rebounded, and we talked and communicated defensively, and it got us in better positioning. And so in the second half, we were able to put up 40 points, and that's always good for us offensively because it shows that we had balanced scoring tonight. So those were the things that I think that allowed us to get this win.
And Nikki Works earned her first double-double of the season. What improvements can you talk about?
You know, Nikki in her new normal has been coming along, and now she's kind of turned that corner where she's really comfortable with what we're asking her to do now. And so she was determined to make sure that she went out and had a solid second half. As a fifth-year player, they know how critical it is that we be led by our veterans, and I thought she did an awesome job in the second half for us.
What's going on in the first half that it kind of looks like it takes your team kind of a while to adjust and settle in?
I don't really know. Maybe it's the pregame meal. No, I'm teasing. For us, we're talking about that and trying to get better to make sure that we start games defensively with solid defense in the first half, and we're getting off to a slow start. Now, tonight in the first half, we just were not hitting shots. And I think it took away from our energy that we had on the floor. And so it's very important for us that, you know, we are taking quality shots, one, and hitting those shots very early on because that gets us going.
Mm-hmm. And it seemed like you guys were in a 15-point hole. In the past couple games you've been in, you know, holes of that size, depends. But is there ever a time when you feel like your team could get down too far that you're not able to come back, or are you guys kind of settled into the, well, we know if we go down by a lot, we can still build it back and get the lead?
We don't want to continue to do that because that will happen to you. You'll get down and will not be able to come back. In this particular conference, you got to play solid defense and hit shots. And so certainly one of the goals in these last 3 games was just making sure we protected home court. I tell you, our crowd is our sixth man. They give us such energy, and you can just see it. And now our bench is just really involved and engaged. And so the young women on the floor are getting energy from each other. We're getting that synergy from the bench to the floor. They're listening. They're able to make adjustments. And so we're just really excited. We don't have a lot of time actually to be in a congratulatory mode because we have a very big game coming up with our rival A&T this week. And so we will celebrate this one tonight, and then we'll get back to work tomorrow.
Morgan missed the first 5 shots she took, didn't score at halftime. Do you tell her, keep shooting, eventually they'll start to fall? What was kind of your message to her at halftime?
It's no different than any other night. She has to have a shooter's memory. and a shooter thinks the next shot is going in, and so that's what we expect Morgan to do, and not be concerned about the last shot. She knows that we depend on that offense from her. She's comfortable with that particular role. She's in the gym shooting those shots and having those mental memories, mental reps where she sees it going in, and so we know eventually she'll be able to hit those shots and big shots, because those were big shots for us in the second half.
And you started Kristen Askew tonight. She's only started 2 other games. What went into the decision to put her out in the starting 5?
Well, we actually had, believe it or not, Kira Conley was a little bit under the weather tonight, struggling with a little virus. She's over that now, and so we felt like Kristen would be the best look early on with her offense and ball handling, and so she's also played in enough collegiate games to be able to handle that kind of quick turnaround and adjustment. So we thought she gave us a lift tonight with starting the game, and then Kira was able to watch it and then just kind of get herself settled in, and they played really well.
They seem to get a lot of their offense off of your team's turnovers. How important is it going forward, especially against A&T, to really limit those turnovers and make sure that they're not scoring point after point on fast breaks?
Well, A&T, I think, does a great job pressuring the ball. And so away from the ball, we have to do a better job of just make sure we're meeting passes, we're hitting target hands with our delivery, and then just being solid with the ball, having confidence when the ball is in our hands, and doing those things that our guards are capable of doing. But sometimes we just get in a hurry. And so they know now. We'll go back and look at that. We'll break it down, and we'll get better.
NCCU women's basketball, Nikki Works. Nikki, your thoughts on tonight's performance?
It was exciting. We had a lot of energy just to come back 15 down, come back and get the win.
So talk about your contribution to tonight's battle. You earned your first double-double of the season. How was that for you?
Again, it's exciting. I mean, at first half didn't go as well as I planned, but just having to be there for my team, just to keep talking, keep energy up.
What kind of adjustments have you made throughout the season to kind of settle in and settle into your role?
Basically just getting reminders from my teammates and my coaches that they need me to lead, just being a leader.
And when you guys were down 15 tonight, you've been down in the last 3 games. What's kind of your team's mentality? What's going through your mind? You're like, okay, it's time to kick it in, time to start coming back.
Yeah, it's not intention. it's not. We don't do it on purpose to try to be down, but it's been ending up that way. But basically, when we're down, we just gotta fight back.
What adjustments did you guys have to make at halftime to kind of come back and be able to go, I think, on a 25-0 run?
Basically, for us, it was just the energy wasn't there the first half, so we had to get basically our energy up.
NCCU women's basketball sophomore Morgan Jones. Morgan, talk about tonight's battle.
Oh, tonight was definitely a good one. It was exciting, definitely be back home once again, and I definitely enjoyed it coming back from 15-0. So, yeah, it was very exciting.
So what was it like for you? You missed your first 5 shots. You didn't score at halftime, and then you were able to start hitting some key shots down the stretch. What was going through your mind?
Well, like my coach said, you got to have the shooter's mentality, and my teammates continue to get on me. They tell you continue to shoot, and when you have teammates like that, it's easy for you to continue to do those things. So, yeah.
Did it feel like you were off in the first half? Like, did you know when you took your first shot that, oh, no, it's not going to fall? What am I going to have to do to kind of get it to come back?
Well, you kind of get a feel in a sense. My energy as a whole wasn't there, but once we picked up our energy, it definitely brought in the feel of, oh, yeah, it's time. So, yeah.
And when you guys were down 15, were you kind of thinking like, okay, here we are, we're down again, time to start coming back like we had the last 2 games?
Yeah, we definitely get that talk on the bench from everybody. Everybody's like, yeah, we got to stay with it, pick it up. This is our time. This is it. We got to run. We got to go. And those are the words on the side. So when you get that motivation, you're like, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to pick it up.
Are you worried that your team could ever get in a hole so big that you can't dig out of it like you've been able to the last couple games?
Well, I hope that we don't get in any more holes like that. So hopefully we won't have to worry about that. But defense is definitely key, and we're going to continue to work on that. And we're starting to find our identity. So that's definitely what we're looking forward to continue to do. But as far as the hole, we're going to continue to stay out of that. So, yeah, try to.
What would you say your team's identity is if you had to define it? How would you describe it?
Together. That's what it's all about. We have each other's back, and that's definitely what it is. That's from anybody, from the people giving us water, to our trainers, to our players who are on the side. We're just together, and I feel like that's definitely important. So, yeah.
How much does it help for your team to have this 3-game win streak going into the game against A&T next week?
I think it's very important. This is a big rivalry game for us, and we're looking forward to the challenge. But the 3 wins definitely give us that boost that we need. So, yeah, that's definitely it.
And how much does the audience play into you guys' wins?
the audience is definitely a big key. You can hear them on the side all the time. Morgan, sit down on defense, or put your hands up, all those kind of things. You can hear all of that, and that definitely hypes you up to want to protect home, and that's important to us, and we want to continue to do that.
CBS. That stands for Car Buying Simplified. Shop CBS Mitsubishi in Durham or choose from over 500 quality used vehicles at any of our 6 convenient locations. Hurry to CBS Mitsubishi at cbsqualitycars.com.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.